You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Thank you for joining us for DC News Now at 4. I'm Tosin Fakile. Mark Hall will join us starting at 6. Showers have been on again and off again around the DMV today. You're taking a look at radar right now and a look outside as we track storms this afternoon. Let's begin talking to meteorologist Scott Sumner for a first look at our forecast. And Scott, you have radar behind you. A little bit of a movement, isn't there?
Yeah, didn't you just hear that little boom?
I did. I thought my ears were playing tricks on me, but apparently not.
No, because this is what you're hearing back here. Over towards Oakton, Idlewood, and McLean, we're looking at some thunder and lightning just to the west of DC. As noted here, there are about 185 lightning strikes in the frame of your television here. And now we just got this live on air. We've got a flash flood warning that goes till 7 p.m. This is for Fairfax County with that particular line. Now, there are more showers back off to the west, but these seem to be dwindling in intensity. Still, there's plenty of lightning around. And as our wide view shows, we do have here some more showers coming up. These showers will mainly start to impact go over the Potomac, mainly impact southern Maryland here. There's quite a bit of lightning associated with those as well. But again, notice the reds and the yellows diminishing from those line of showers and storms where Winchester and Front Royal reside out to the west along I-81. And our future radar picks up on those showers continuing to diminish, but also hold together a little bit as we head towards Washington, D.C., while these showers and storms move up from the south and move in towards southern Maryland. Now, having said all of that, there are pockets here where you're picking up about 4/10 of an inch of precipitation, or even 1/10 of an inch of precipitation. And of course, we do have a generalized flood watch in effect. We'll talk about that coming up in the main weather in just a few moments. Tosin?
Scott, thank you. We'll check in with you soon. It is day 3 of President Trump's takeover in the district. Starting today, federal law enforcement and DC police force will move to 24/7 operation instead of starting operations at night. The White House releasing new numbers. They say officers made 103 arrests since August 7th. 24 firearms were seized in the city. 19 agencies patrolling D.C. streets. Last night, 43 arrests were made. More than 1,400 different law enforcement personnel, including 750 D.C. police officers. They say 30 National Guard troops were on the ground. And we have team coverage this afternoon. DC News Now's Mariel Carbone talking to community leaders about the changes. We'll hear from her in just a little bit. But first, we're going to head over to DC News Now's Daniel Hamburg. Daniel, with this new uptick in law enforcement, what are we seeing right now?
Well, Tosin, we are absolutely seeing bigger presence of federal law enforcement agencies at some of these incidents across the district, but we're also seeing patrols in areas many people say is unnecessary. Crime in D.C. may be at a 30-year low, but it doesn't feel that way to everyone who lives here.
It's disappointing to see how the city has fallen pretty badly.
Federal law enforcement is spread across the district, much to the dismay of many locals, but welcomed by others.
I don't want to say it is what it is, but it is necessary.
Federal agents were seen Tuesday night in Columbia Heights making arrests and also patrolling Georgetown.
But to be on M Street, you know, that's kind of silly.
The presence isn't welcome for James, who lives in historic Anacostia.
Sensationalizing this, you're hiding something, because you did it and you try to do it everywhere else, but you only could do it in D.C. now because of our laws.
He believes the answer isn't outside agencies, but changing laws.
The most I worry about now is not the crime. I worry about the vagrancy and the people with mental health issues out here.
That's part of President Trump's plan, too, putting emphasis on removing homeless encampments. D.C.'s Deputy Mayor for Health and Human Services, Wayne Turnage, and his team spent the day giving notice to people living in encampments. They'll be cleared Thursday morning.
I don't think there is any jurisdiction that spends the kind of resources that we spend to try to match people who are living on the street to safe and affordable housing. That is the underlying goal of this administration.
Turnage says they are opening more shelter beds as necessary to meet the current need. He says there are no current plans to ship some of these people outside of the district, as President Trump has alluded to. The encampment here is supposed to be cleared tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. We're live in Northwest. Daniel Hamburg, DC News Now.
Daniel, thank you for that report. The takeover puts the battle for D.C. statehood and home rule in the spotlight. We now head to D.C. News Now's Marielle Carbone. She's live outside the White House at Lafayette Park. Marielle, local leaders are concerned about just how much control President Donald Trump can take.
Yeah, the battle for statehood is more real than ever for a lot of people who believe that D.C. taxpayers should have the right to govern themselves. Now, the president today calling this ridiculous as the mayor encourages neighborhood leaders to keep stepping up. As hundreds of National Guard members and federal agents descend on D.C., Mayor Muriel Bowser giving this message to community leaders.
We all need to do what we can in our space, in our lane, to protect our autonomy, to protect our home rule.
It's a directive many advisory neighborhood commissioners are already following.
We're working behind the scenes, promoting and supporting our individuals.
Tiffany Nicole Johnson is the ANC in Manor Park.
There is an abundance of fear.
Her commission is working to relay important information safely, but she says planning its next public meeting has been challenging.
We can't publicize that meeting because we're fearful that ICE or some other federal entity is monitoring our chats, monitoring our meetings, and could show up.
The only path forward in her eyes is statehood.
We have to stand firm.
Statehood is ridiculous.
Wednesday, President Trump rebuking that notion.
It's not going to happen.
It's hypocritical thinking when we keep talking about freedom.
Edward Daniels is an ANC in Navy Yard.
There are a lot of us that are working our butts off in this city.
Including right now.
We are doing our best to keep residents informed and safe and protected because this is an unprecedented time.
While encouraging neighbors to share what's actually happening on the ground during this federal takeover.
When someone steps up and says that you can't walk down the street without bullets, flying at you, people are going to believe that, unfortunately, and that's not the case of what's happening in our city.
Now, both Daniels and Johnson, they are encouraging people to reach out to their ANCs with any concerns or questions. And we know that the mayor's office is also working on a one-pager, a flyer of sorts that lays out important information that people might need to know, like their rights and who to contact if they have any complaints. Reporting in Northwest D.C., I'm Marielle Carbone, DC News Now.
Marielle, thank you for staying on top of that report for us. And you can see our full coverage of President Trump's takeover of D.C. police on our website, dcnewsnow.com. There you'll also find many reactions to the president's latest move, what families in the district can expect, and a breakdown of violent crime statistics police say is at a historic 30-year low. An update today on the deadly fire in Waldorf that killed 6 people. Maryland State Fire Marshal identifying who some of those victims are. The fire happened Sunday along Declaration Court. Officials say the victims are the wife and 3 children of the homeowner and the wife and child of the other survivor. The fire marshal says 2 fire alarms were destroyed in the fire. A 3rd fire alarm was found disconnected with no batteries in the basement. The names of the victims have not been released. D.C. police responded to a shooting in the 3300 block of 15th Street in Northeast. It happened just after 11 this morning. They found a woman shot, unconscious, but breathing. She was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. To Western Maryland, 2 teenage boys are charged as adults after police say they stole this ATV and a handgun. Hagerstown police spotted the stolen ATV Monday in the downtown area. They say they tracked the 4-wheeler along with 2 16-year-olds with the help of drones. In Virginia, Governor Glenn Youngkin calling for an investigation into allegations of school-funded abortions in Fairfax County. The governor's office says a published report showed school staff members allegedly helped minors get abortions without parental consent. They say school officials may have arranged and paid for abortions, and school administration may have known about it and potentially used school funding. Virginia State Police will open the investigation. DC News Now reached out to Fairfax County Public Schools for comment. We haven't heard back yet. In transportation news, a reminder to anyone trying to take the Green Line this weekend, summer construction will extend to stops between Congress Heights and Branch Avenue. Free shuttle buses will be provided between stops. Green Line construction continues through the 31st. And still to come here on DC News Now, President Trump announces this year's Kennedy Center honorees, plus, and who will be hosting this year's event. The Commanders make a stop at a local high school. We'll tell you how the team's visit is helping expand sports in the DMV.
Are stretching your dollar, and you likely won't believe just how much the average family can save per year just being better about managing food waste.
And we're taking a live look right now towards the Kennedy Center and a look at your radar as we track storms this afternoon. Meteorologist Scott Sumner has a full check on your forecast after the break. Stay with us. We'll be right back.